All right, guys, welcome back to RollPlay. Thank you for breathing into the mic there, Ryan. Anywho, I believe it is the next day, and we are... I guess we have to hit up these other two towns first before we make it to Chandar.
Okay. The towns are actually fairly close to you guys, as we can see on the map. Where'd the map go? Yeah. So Tarnwood is just a day away. You have to cross the river to get there, but it's not a problem. There's a nice big fat bridge. You guys, again, are taking your horses and wagon? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll need
You
the
guys have a
wagon.
full-
On the way there, I'm going to explain the following plan to Abigail. Okay? Abigail, we're going to get into town, and if you're along with this, what I'd like to do is we'll post up inconspicuously in the tavern, but I want you to go seduce the knight, get him drunk, and lead him to a place where we can beat the shit out of him, unconscious.
I guess we can try.
I have faith in you, Abigail. I believe
Yeah.
that you can get a man and keep him entertained for at least one night.
I guess we won't be needing any love potions.
Nope, you'll just have to use your wiles. And I'll tell you what, you can get first pick of loot off this guy if we do get him captured.
Alright. But you still owe me 500 gold, let it go.
It's like, yeah.
Alright, so we pull into town.
So you pull into the first town, Tarnwood. It's a pretty small town, mostly farmers. There's like one inn. There's not a lot going on here, but it's a place to rest for the night. Is there anything in particular you guys would like to do in Tarnwood? Or are you just traveling on through?
Is Tarnwood the next town over?
Yeah, Tarnwood's the next town over.
How many days travel?
It was 1 day, right?
It's just, yeah, it's about 1 day.
Okay.
A little less, but, you'd stop there. Otherwise, you'd wind up camping a few miles out of town.
In Tarnwood, I'm going to buy a cloak that has a hood that would cover me up. Like, even with my armor on.
Okay. You don't have any money. You gave the very last of your coin to...
I had 2 gold.
You had 2 gold?
Yeah, because he had 22, and I think he gave 20 for
That's
the
right.
repair.
I have 2
Okay.
gold.
Well, the
All right,
one-
so
Does not
you can-
cost that much.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
bear skin or anything like that, like Gregor would do.
No, it actually just costs the remaining silver that you have.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you do it. You get a big cloak. Any particular reason for the big cloak?
Yes.
You don't want to tell. You don't
Um,
want to share with your audience?
here's what I'll tell you. Well, yeah, I guess I have to tell you because I'm going to be doing this. I'm around town going to be collecting odds and ends. And what I'm going to do is a Once Upon a Time from Mexico maneuver, aka Johnny Depp's fake arm.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to use one of my ropes to put one of my arms in a sling, my right arm. Seemingly through the cloak, like it's all bundled up. And then I'm going to have my sword drawn underneath with my arm ready to go.
Okay. So that way you can walk around with your sword ready to go without anyone noticing?
The backup plan, if we can't get him drunk, is I walk up next to him and shank the shit out of him and have him ready to go.
Okay.
To ask the party, did Dalamar
Guys,
say
guys,
dead
guys,
or
I
alive?
just had an idea actually. What about if I drink with him, I give him a sleeping potion,
That would work.
and then we tie him up. But I charge you guys for the sleeping potion.
No, it's our mission.
It's deduced from the mission price.
Dalamar's
Like,
the one
I
that gave
don't
us the
want to
mission.
be-
You can't deduce from the mission price.
But I mean, the money we're gonna get is gonna be deduced from
All right,
it, and it's not gonna
Abigail,
be
real
from my-
talk. You keep trying to charge us for
That's a
things,
different
but I'm gonna be
show, dude.
honest. Without us, you're
I mean-
probably 4 towns back sleeping with guys for
Then
for
never
money. Like,
mind. I won't. I'll just seduce him and bring him in a room. We're not using my potion.
That's fine with me.
Fine.
That
Keeping
was
my
pretty
potion.
much-
Alright.
Okay. So that's what we're doing at this town.
Okay.
The
So
messaging
you guys just
spells
hang
us
out and
fix
chat
up.
in the town. No one asks about anything else, or you just hang out in town for a night. Fucking hell.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Just writing down stats and stuff. All right. So, night passes. Next morning, you guys continue on to High Top, which is actually a fort. It's not an actual town. So, you guys get onto High Top. It's just another day ride away, and it's a nice big palisade wall with a stone keep in the center of it. There's a little moat, and it's kind of built on a small rise, a pretty small hill. But there's a hill there. It's all built up on it, and you can stay. I mean, do you guys go into the town or into the keep, or just camp outside?
We're gonna. So here's. I gather the group around me and I say, okay, Abby, I think this is where you go in. I'm gonna put Tugabutt and Bragor on the hill so that they can. Can they see over the wall?
I
Well, you
quickly
guys
remind Jeff that this isn't where the guy is.
Oh. Nah, yeah, we go fucking into the town.
Okay. You
And
start
break.
climbing the hill. Get to the wall. There's guards outside the wall. They look at you and they say, "Who are you? And what are you doing here?"
This is not the town he's at.
This is not the town that he was last spotted in, or that Dalamar told you he was in.
Okay.
Might be in.
We're just weird travelers passing through. We won't be here long. We're gonna move right along. We mean no trouble.
What's with the fat, smelly guy?
I wave as he says that.
He's ours. I can vouch for him. He'll be my responsibility. We're just gonna pass through. No problem.
Sorry, we don't allow beasts inside.
What is this, Boss Isley Cantina? What do you mean?
Military protocol. We do not allow untrustworthy creatures inside a fort. You can
Is
sleep
there-
outside. The rest of you can stay inside.
Good night, Daligab.
This guy is not a creature. He's my friend. Are you saying you allow no humans, no non-humans in here?
No, the elves are welcome. The
What is
ogres.
the difference between an elf and a half ogre?
Are you stupid?
I take
Look
off my
at them.
glove. Then I put it back on. I thought about it. I looked back at Tugabutt and I said, "Are you okay sleeping out here?"
Describe here. Out in the wilderness?
Yeah. I mean, I'll sleep out here with you, man. There's no reason for me to stay in this town. It's just we got to pass through.
You sure? I'm kind of bored. I feel like fighting.
Yeah. Last time we killed an entire town of people, it ended up being politically bad news for us. So let's.
The guards exchange nervous glances, and one of them calls back to the others. Guys, I think we got trouble.
Be like, Vincent, do we have trouble?
I look at him and I
The
say,
gates
"I mean, if
open, and like 6 more guards walk out, and they go, "What's going on?"
I look at the guards and I say, "There's no trouble. We're just passing through. We're not even going to stay here. We're just going to continue on outside of town."
What time of day is it, Neil?
It's evening.
yeah." So I look at him and say, "There's no trouble here unless you want it. Like we are just passing through, like I said, but."
That's fine.
I've never been known to turn down a man in his attempt to kill himself.
They kind of look at you with a little bit of a glare and say, "You guys are welcome inside. The half ogre is not. That's not going to change no matter what you say."
Understood. We're fine. We'll be out here. We'll pass through. We'll pass around or whatever. We don't need to stay.
Fine.
Fine.
Well, fine.
Fine.
Fine then.
All right.
Well,
So
you can just go
we're gonna
sleep
walk
outside.
around the town or go to sleep, I guess, along the wall or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless anyone like Abigail or Breaker has. I don't want to speak on their behalf. Totally.
I guess it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything I want to do in the town.
I mean, I could go check if like the town's wizard wants to buy Hydra blood. Let's do that. Same
Yeah, you could.
conversation. Fast forward. We judge
Alright,
Hydra
so-
blood are a fireman.
You go inside the keep.
Yeah.
And you ask someone if there's a local wizard.
Yeah.
They said, the commander has a mage he keeps as a scryer.
Okay, I go to him. I show him the Hydra blood. I said, how much do you want to give me for that? It's Hydra blood.
All right. Tugabut and I exchange looks, and I'm going to start walking away from him.
Jen, go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Outside.
Do what, Neil?
You two are outside, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Jen, go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Okay. So you try and go in, and he's busy. He's like in the middle of something right now. You're gonna have to role play this out. You can't just like walk in and demand
okay.
to sell something.
Knock, knock. Oh, I just knocked on the door. Oh,
Okay.
he's-
So you go to the area where you've been
Yeah.
led to believe he is,
yeah.
and there's guards outside and say, what are you doing here?
I'm looking to sell these vials of Hydra blood. I show one.
Then go to a storekeeper. This is a military fort.
Well, maybe he needs it. Maybe he wants it.
They kind of
Oh
assume
my god.
All right, never mind. Just run out of time. Whatever. Fine. No Hydra blood for you guys.
All right, you move on. Next day, I take it.
Sure.
Actually, hold on. Ryan and Jen, do you sleep in the fort or do you sleep outside with the others?
I stayed outside. I didn't even go into town.
Okay, Jen.
I'll sleep in the tree.
There are. Look at the map. It's a plains area. There are no trees. All the trees have been cut down for the fort or for firewood.
Oh, okay. Is someone keeping watch?
Neil, before we go to sleep, quick question.
Y'all.
If I cast heat metal, does that do all metal in the area?
What's the spell?
It didn't say in the spell, so I couldn't. I didn't know what it did. 'Cause if I cast that, then it basically makes my armor melt on myself.
Let me look it up in a book.
Okay. Whoops. I don't mean to delay the show or anything.
No.
It's probably just better if I know this for the future.
Yeah, these are the things that we should know. Heat metal, area of effect. Range 40 yards. I think you
So I
target
cast it in a certain area?
at a specific item, I think.
Hmm.
Um, this version supposes for every 2 levels, for every 2 experience levels of the caster, the metal of one man-sized creature can be affected, i.e., arms and armor, or a single mass of metal equal to 50 pounds in weight. So for every 2 levels you are, you can affect all the items that one person holds. That a normal man-sized creature would
So I
hold.
could do two guards then?
Yeah.
If I'm... Okay. All right. Never mind then. That's not enough to mess with.
Yeah. And there... we should get into this at some point, but a lot of spells have a reverse as
Right.
well.
Right. That has chill, right?
Yeah.
Chill metal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll sleep outside in the wagon somewhere
Okay,
on the
so
plain.
everyone sleeps outside then. I just
Yeah.
wanted to get... Okay, cool. Next day comes along, and you guys continue on the path. You get to Chandar that evening. Again, you meet people along the road, but nothing very interesting happens. Chandar is just on the edge of a forest, and it's another fairly large town, about the size of Vignes, where you guys killed Lord Fang, if you remember that incident. So, there's a few thousand people here. maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people.
Okay.
There's no wall around the town, so as you guys approach, it's more of like a slowly you get into a town where there's a couple buildings here, then there's some buildings here, then there's more and more, and before you know it, you're in the middle of a town. Roads are cobblestone, buildings are small. What do you guys do?
So I assume we stroll into town, find a place to put the horses in the wagon, and go to the bar and ask if anyone's seen, what's his name? Brightblade something or other.
Sir Bright.
Sir Bright.
Sir
Blade.
Night Light. Sir Bright Light.
Sir Bright.
Does anyone remember his
Does
name?
anyone remember his name?
So Brightblade? Is that right? Brightblade?
Jen, is that right?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, we're going to ask, does anyone know Sir Brightblade?
Where do you ask this?
In the bar, very discreetly, to the bartender.
Okay. So, first bar you come across, the Downed Goblin is what it's called.
I like it.
Yeah. You walk in, ask the bartender, has anyone seen or heard of Sir Brightblade?
Mm-hmm.
He looks at you and says, yeah, I know the guy. He's been around here. What's it to you?
I'll flick him 50 silver and say, when was the last time you saw him and where?
50 silver,
Half of gold, whatever that is.
5 silver.
5 silver. Okay.
Okay. It's kind of a big difference.
All right.
And you say, sorry, what'd you say to him?
I asked him when was the last time he saw him and where was it?
I saw him here 2 days ago in this very room.
Can you describe what he looks like?
Tall
Roughly?
guy, kind of stuck up, big long mustache, drooping. It's kind of dark brown, maybe blackish. Very proud kind of fella.
Do you know his sexual orientation?
He looks at
Just
you
your
and says,
standard question.
if you mean does he prefer boys or girls?
Yes.
I think he's more of a girl fellow. He's
All right. Just making sure.
I go to the bartender and I say, elves are a weird bunch. Sorry about that.
I'd never seen an elf quite so queer.
And then ask him if he has any... Do you know if this man has any vices about him? If he has any...
No.
Okay.
Sir Brightblade is actually fairly known for being one of those honor-bound, stuck-up types.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, sir. And I kind of turn the party and say, would you guys want to stay here? You want to journey further in? What are you thinking?
I think we keep asking around
Okay.
and try and find him.
All right. Well, I mean, he was here 2 days ago. So he's either in the area or will come back, possibly if he's staying here at this very bar.
Yeah, maybe we can just hang out here. Worst case scenario.
Or we could split up, like have somebody wait here at the bar,
Sure.
and some people go look for him.
I say I'll stay here, so I'm going to post up at a table in my cloak and just drink apple juice.
I'm going to go stand outside the bar and stand opposite the door and kind of just post up there and look at the entranceway into the bar until I notice kind of how a man that the bartender described walk in. For that night.
So, you just post up and wait to see if Sir Brightblade walks in.
Yep, outside of the bar instead of inside. I don't want to be
Okay.
anywhere near Jeff.
Okay. The rest of you?
I go to the bartender and I ask, are there any other bars in this town?
Yeah, we got a bunch more. Everyone's got a thirst for beer no matter where you go.
Where would you say, aside from this one, of course, would be the most popular bar?
Kind of looks at you and looks back at Tedagum and said, you mean most popular bar or most likely location to find Brightblade?
The second one.
Nods and says, kind of it skips my mind right now. Ask me again, maybe, and I'll remember a little bit later.
I hand him 5 silver. Is that what it is? How much did JP pay?
I slap Brigger's hand and be like, he doesn't. No, thank you, sir. And then I walk outside.
No, you're outside. Okay, whatever. I give him a gold and I say,
give
"How
him
about
gold?
now?" Yeah.
It says, yeah, you know what? I think an honor-bound, stuck-up guy like him, he'd be over by the Golden Goblet.
Well, thank you for your advice. And I leave the bar and start heading over to the Golden Goblet.
Okay.
Can I come along?
Yeah. Did you see him leave?
Sure. I have good perception.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm the one supposed to seduce the guy, so might as
Yeah.
well find him.
All right. So Jeff and JP stay.
Unless they tell us something.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Did
yeah.
you guys tell him anything?
Well, I mean, I start leaving and I see JP on the way out.
because I'm outside.
Right. Because you're outside.
He perceives it.
Butter.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you tell JP or Jeff anything?
Yeah. I mean, as I walk out, I see JP and I say, "We're going to another bar to try and find this guy."
Which one is that?
The Golden Goblet.
Who told you about that one?
I asked the bartender.
Okay. If you see him, leave one of you with him and come back and grab me and Vincent. We're going to stay here.
Sure. And vice versa. If you see him, send somebody.
Sounds good. Keep your bow on you.
Yep.
For real.
You head over to the Golden Goblet. Jen, you're following him?
Yep.
All right. And you get to the place, and there are 2 guards outside. They're not wearing armor, but they're wearing like very nice clothes. You know, lots of silks, and they've got a long sword. Each one of them has a long sword,
Mhm.
and they kind of stop you guys and go, "Whoa, there! I don't think this is your kind of place.
And why is that?
This bar is reserved for nobles."
I guess we're gonna.
You don't look like lordlings, so you should probably mosey on away.
We just wanted to get a quick drink, if you don't mind. We'll be
We
in
do
and out.
mind.
All right. I'm not going to cause any trouble with the guards, so.
Oh.
I,
As we walk back,
I asked the guard, I say, "Well, can you tell me of another bar nearby that we can go to?"
He nods and says, "Down the street, 3 blocks on your left."
Okay. So I start heading towards that one.
Okay.
well, don't we want to go get Jeff? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I guess you
Longboard?
can go tell them if you want, and I'll check out the new bar.
all
when
right,
you
I'll
come
go
back.
get them. I mean, I could always try to. I say that in Elvish really low, by the way. I could have tried to use my Lord Fang gear, but I guess it's safer to just go get Jeff. I don't want to have another riot against us.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth it. He'll come out eventually if he's
Yeah.
in there.
All right, I go get Mr. Longbourn.
Okay. So Jeff, Abigail walks up to you, explains what happened.
I nod and I head towards the place. The golden teacup or whatever.
I'll wait outside.
Tadagub, do you go with
Wait,
them?
maybe you can get me in with you though.
Tadagub, do you go with them?
No, I'm going to stay outside of the other bar.
The rest of you guys? What's going on?
I'm heading towards the third bar.
Okay.
Get me a +1.
Jeff?
Okay, so I head up to the bar and I approach the guards in my cloak.
They look at you and say, entrance is barred to lords only.
I'm gonna pull back my hood and show them the tattoo.
They say, "Who are you?"
I'm Prince Vincent Longbourn.
They straighten up a little bit and says, "Sir, we did not. Sorry, we're not familiar with your face around here. Please enter."
Completely understandable. I'm going to put my hood back on and go in, and I'm going to look around for this guy.
Okay. The bar is fairly lively, but super classy. No one's being drunk. There's no like uproarious laughter or anything. You know, all the waitresses are actually dressed nicely. You know, their boobs aren't falling out anywhere. No one's like grabbing at them. You see a guy in full plate armor, you know, super proper looking, back straight, sipping some wine over on the counter. Looks like he might be. He's got a big, long brown beard, not beard, mustache, like droops down, kind of walrusy. Long black hair tied back in a ponytail.
Okay. I'm going
Brown
to.
hair, not black
He's at the counter. You said, right? Sipping
Yeah.
wine.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stand next to him and order an apple juice. And then once I receive my apple juice, say, "Hey, mind if I have a word with you?"
He looks to you and says, "What would you speak of?"
A matter of business that must be discussed. I'd like it if we could go over to a table where it's a little bit more quiet to have a talk.
I don't deal with dishonesty. If you can't say it here, then don't say it at all.
Oh, you've got me wrong, friend. There's nothing dishonest to say, but that's not to say that our words are meant for everyone's ears. If you'd rather I say it here, I certainly can, but I'm trying to do you a courtesy.
He nods and walks with you. He's like 6'5", so he's kind of a tall dude. He's actually everyone else is pretty short, so he's really tall.
Yeah, I'm only like 5'10" or
11.
something like that. 5'11".
Yeah.
So we sit at a table, and I say, actually, I like motion to the server or whatever and say, "Please get this man another one of his drinks." And I say, "You are Sir Bright something. What's his name?"
It's on you, man. Where no one's there. This is
Yeah,
all
no
you.
one's there. It's on you.
Oh god.
All right, then I avoid that. I just say, "Sir, it is no mystery that I have approached you. We're here actually looking for you. It is my understanding that you have a debt owed to Dalamar."
He glares at you and says, "What?"
Well, if you are a man of honor, you'll hear me out, and then we will come to terms with how we're going to settle this, but we've been charged to bring you back to Dalamar, dead or alive, and I prefer it alive because you are a man of stature, and I think you are owed that dignity.
Dalamar, the black-robed dark elf.
He is rather tanned in complexion, yes.
He glares at you and says, "I have no associations with that vile creature."
He has said that you would write him off, and that you have said that you do not know him. But nonetheless, we are tasked with this, and I would tell you that he is a man of high repute from where he is at. And if you are to call yourself a knight, you would do him the honor of at least seeing him to see what he... I mean...
Is
if
this
you're
the
this
sort of
important-
creature you associate with?
I don't know him to be anything short of an honorable man that gives us good work.
He stands up abruptly and says, "I thank you for the wine, but I must ask you to leave now."
Oh, you don't understand. You don't ask me to leave.
He growls at you and says, "Sir, I challenge you to a duel."
I'm still in my cloak, right?
Yeah.
I stand up and I look at him and I say, "Normally that is something of the... Well, I gotta be honest with you. I do like the idea of absolutely fucking demolishing you.
Good. I will see you tomorrow outside this very establishment. Morning. Bring your best
Yes,
sword.
but one condition. We're not going to fight to the death, because I would like to bring you back alive." We will fight till the yield.
Fair enough.
A gentleman's bet. I take off my glove and I offer it to Shake.
He shakes hands with you.
Very good.
He feels
Okay.
that his hand has slapped many faces.
All right. I'm gonna take off my cloak and wear it about my shoulders, but walk out and signal. I'm gonna go get Tugabutt, and I'm gonna say we got to go gather the others. I've come to an arrangement with this man.
An arrangement? What does that mean?
It means I think there's a fairly good chance he's gonna kick my ass tomorrow, but I won't die. That's the good news. And if he breaks that promise, we'll all have to get on top of this guy. But otherwise, we've got a fair shot at bringing him in.
All right, we'll see how tomorrow morning goes. Let's go find the others.
All right.
We head off to wherever.
This is all exchanged amongst you. Ryan, the bar you went to was the exact opposite. It was super rowdy and brawdy and just like, you know.
He got totally wasted. He come back.
Well, I mean, you did whatever you did, but it was, you know, it was a
Shitty
fun
bar.
play. It was a very fun bar, and you feel a little dirtier for having been there.
That's fine.
+1 to body odor.
All right.
Okay. What do you guys do that evening? Anything?
Nah, just go have some apple juice, sharpen my swords, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I take it easy because we got to be up in the morning, and I'm not one to get up in the morning usually.
Yeah. Sometimes he wakes up at 3 p.m.
Exactly.
Talking about Tutagub here.
Right. Okay. So morning comes around. What do you take? Or who of you go, and what do you bring with you?
Well, we all go. I'm going to bring my full equipment.
I have
I'm
a
going to...
question out of game.
Yeah.
What does a round equate to in time? Like
More or less 1 minute.
1 minute?
About.
Okay.
You know, some rounds are a little shorter, some rounds are a little longer.
So, for example, if I were to cast Strength of Stone on Jeff, it would be 4 minutes of Strength of Stone instead of 4 rounds.
If it's one round per level, then yeah.
Okay, all right. Oh, it lasts 3 rounds plus 1 round per caster level or until the subject loses contact with the earth.
So 7 rounds or 7 minutes.
loses contact with the earth.
Well, you
I
have
like
to be
the
on,
wording.
you have to be on like
Yeah.
ground instead of whatever.
I imagine hitting someone so hard they flew to the moon, but I like that, yeah.
So, Jeff, I'll tell you before you go into this fight, cut the bullshit. Just go fight. I'll try to help you out, but you're only gonna have like 7. You're only gonna have about 7 minutes of this little
That's fine.
help.
Don't
So-
forget the jigsaw thing.
Okay,
That's all I need.
that's very true. So I don't want to do anything except for right before we turn the corner, touch Jeff, and I'll make a roll when I do that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not doing anything.
So I'm gonna have one of the party members hold my cloak, but otherwise I've got my shield out, sword, and we're gonna approach the spot.
Okay. Sir Brightblade is there, and he is mounted on his horse. And he pops open his visor and he says, "Do you not have a steed of your own?"
No, sir. When I duel, I do it on my own 2 feet. I don't need a beast to make me any taller.
So be it. And he dismounts.
All right, so I guess I need to roll before we turn that corner. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
So for 7 minutes.
You have to go up and touch it, and you're casting a spell, so it's pretty obvious.
Right, but I'm doing it before we turn the corner.
Okay.
So he literally has like 7 minutes. I guess if you need to time him or however you're going to work that out.
I'll work it out.
Okay.
So he gets off, walks over to you, does like a salute with his long sword. He's got basically the exact same equipment as you. He's got full plate armor, medium shield, and a long sword.
Okay. I do the same.
Gives a salute with his sword to you, and then goes into like combat mode.
Yep. It's time.
Okay. So let's do initiative. D10.
8.
8 against him. You go first.
Nice. Gonna take a swing at him. D20 plus 6, right?
Yep.
26.
And he gets 18/30 on his damage roll. So,
Oh,
God, he's gonna be one. He's gonna die.
well, I think it's just a single crit because of all the freaking armor. And again, I need to change this crit system. It's not. Yeah, but you get another +2 to damage. So 2d8 plus, what is it?
Not D12?
No, he's a normal sized creature.
Oh,
He's man
2d8
size.
plus 5?
No,
plus 6.
2d8 plus 6.
Hmm.
10. Okay.
that's so
Okay. You crack him awful in the chest, and he stumbles back for a bit, then runs at you with his sword and takes a swing. 20. Your AC is 21.
21.
Yeah, his sword slams into your shield, and you block it, and it knocks aside. Initiative for next round. Since we're doing duels, we're gonna roll initiative each round.
Okay. D10.
D10.
Well, I'm
Okay.
guessing he attacks first.
Yeah, he attacks first. He runs up to you again, swinging. He hits you this time for 6 damage.
Okay. What am I at? What's my full?
I think you're
23 or 4?
I can't read my own handwriting. Your full is 23. You take 6, so that brings you down to 17. Your turn. 20. It's a miss. He blocks it with his shield. Initiative again.
5.
He goes first. Takes another swing at your head and misses. Actually, like, completely misses.
26.
Jesus.
Haha.
You crit again.
The
2d8 plus.
turret goes like this.
2d8 plus 6?
Yeah.
14.
Oof. You slash him through the side, and you can, like, blood is visibly leaking out of his armor. Initiative. D10.
God damn it.
Does he still get Strength of Stone this round, or is it off?
It's on.
Okay.
I'm keeping track. He puts his sword, holding his sword up with one hand. He lays his other hand on his body, and it starts to glow for a moment, and the wound starts to mend, and it stops bleeding.
That's his turn.
Yeah, your turn.
No hit that time.
No. You miss him.
Initiative?
Initiative.
1.
You go first.
Yay. No.
You completely miss. Oof. While he crits you 21. Yeah, just a single crit. 12, 13, 14 damage. Drops you to 3. And he says, "Do you yield?"
Yes, sir. A good fight. I yield this time.
He nods. Wipes his sword off on the back of his cloak, sheathes it, and says, "No more of this trouble. Tell your master I have nothing to say to him."
Why does Dalamar seek for you?
I thought this matter was settled.
Well, we definitely settled whether or not I would take you in, but I'm asking why he's... I mean, what is it that's got you so worried and bothered by this?
I'm neither worried nor bothered. The likes of that man are not to be trusted.
I see. Okay. Till next time.
Okay. He gets back on his horse and slowly rides through town.
Sorry guys, I gave it my best shot.
It's all good.
But Tadagab didn't.
I'm not okay. Stepping out of the game. Fuck chat and fuck you. When I want to re-roll, I'll say that I want to re-roll.
I told you before the battle. It's not about chat.
I know. I'm just saying. Look, when I want to say
Okay.
a re-roll, then I'll say I'll.
It's all
re-roll.
right. We tried to do it the honorable way, but
We did.
now we have to just take him in anyways.
We
so,
did. So how you want to
I
do
would
this?
I want to do this as quietly as possible. That way we can keep our name, but we must complete the mission. If Dalamar is what he says he is, we need to find that out too. But we're too far in. We have to at least do this for Dalamar, and then look at it because I don't want to piss off Dalamar. We don't need that kind of an enemy. We just simply don't.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't need that kind of an enemy, but think about the guy that you fought and think about the way that he acted. He acted pretty honorably. Dalamar lives in a castle, and you're afraid to even walk into the front door. So, yes, we don't want Dalamar as an enemy, but I think there's definitely some truth to what Brightblade is saying.
You know, I agree with you, but I did everything I could to get him to try and explain to me what's going on, and all he says he doesn't trust him, and we're already in the pocket of Dalamar. Like, to not do something now, we instantly have an enemy, whereas if we take this guy in, it's a loose end tied up, you know what I mean?
What about your truth spell, Tadagab?
I'm sorry. What spell?
Your truth spell?
On who?
On the guy to know why.
Jeff said he was a honorable guy. If he doesn't want to tell us, he doesn't have to tell us.
Yeah. It doesn't
Or, sorry,
force them to
Vincent.
tell.
Yeah. I think we might need to do some covert ops here and try to get this guy back. Maybe a little bit less than honorable. In a less than honorable way.
Yeah. We've been here before. I want us to try to avoid this. That's why, if we can, we got to keep it super quiet. But we're in too far. We can't say no to Dalamar.
I agree that we should finish this mission, but after this, I think we should revisit and see if the wealth that he's giving us is worth, continuing to do quests for him.
I agree.
What do you want?
He's talking about if in the
I'm
future.
saying in the future we should, think about if we really want to continue doing quests
Yeah.
for somebody who's,
I agree with you. I don't like the smell of this either, and Brightblade seems like an honorable guy, but it's either him or us at this point. So
All right. So at this point, we need to formulate a plan on how we're gonna take back Brightblade alive.
Did we see which
without
way he
anybody
rode
knowing.
off, Neil?
He was just riding through town. But yeah, you saw the direction.
Abigail, I think you might probably, well, you and Ryan should probably track him and see if he has a house around here or find out where he sleeps, and we can go from there. I don't think we need to take this guy head on in the middle of a town. It's going to look bad if myself, everyone, including Jeff, are just fighting a nobleman here in the middle of town. I think we need to do it under the veil of night.
Okay. So I start tracking Brightblade's horse.
It's really hard to track through town because there's so many people walk over that the tracks immediately get covered.
Mm.
So it's basically impossible. Unless you're like watching the horse.
What if I taste the mud, though?
It hasn't rained recently, so there's no mud. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have to ask around then.
Alright. Asking around then.
So what exactly are you asking and to who?
I also think that we need to be careful about this because I'm sure that word is spread that there's been a duel. Everybody
Yeah.
knows. And if we're asking where he lives, I think we need to commission Abigail to approach some seedy types and try and get some information that way.
That is a good idea. We could potentially pay someone else to kidnap him for us in town.
True.
Either that or just pay them for information.
That's true. I think that Jeff should stay as far away from possible in town from this until we obviously if we need his help, but it's not going to be good if he gets caught trying to capture this guy after losing to a duel like this in public.
I agree. In fact, I think I'll go to the next town over and just get a hotel room or a tavern room, and if you guys need me, send for me. But otherwise, that'll at least wash my hands of it too.
I'll remind Vincent that High Top was a very military-heavy town. I won't be able to get back in there once we get this guy's body.
Yeah, but they'll tell me there's a big fat ogre at the door, and I'll come out.
Okay, that works for me. That works for me.
Or I could always stealthily get in.
It's true. I could try to climb the wall. Stealthily.
I don't know though. I think we might need all 4 of us to bring this guy back.
That's
I don't know if it's such a good idea
right.
splitting the party up.
Well, at least just be in the tavern here than in town, and I'll be resting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so Vincent, you're staying at the Downed Goblin.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you, what are you doing? This is still the same day. It's like, you know,
Right.
a few minutes later.
I say in Elvish to Abigail, do you think you can find some other thief types to try and get us the information we need?
I'll look into it.
Okay.
So, I asked you in Elvish. Do you think the bar you went to yesterday was seedy enough?
Absolutely. That's the first place I'd start.
Alright, I'm going to that bar. Do you want to come along or should I go alone? I guess I'll go along.
I'll come to the bar, but I'll come after you.
That sounds good to me.
Do you guys need my help?
Nope. You're too big. Everyone's gonna notice you.
All right. I'll wait for you guys to tell me the information you found then. I'll go back to the bar with Vincent for now.
Alright? So
Okay.
I go to the bar and I look to see if there's anyone who looks kind of like me, like a thief.
Everyone looks super sketchy.
Sounds
Even
good.
the bartender looks super sketchy.
Okay. I go to the bartender and I say,
You
You think
immediately
there's-
get harassed by everyone that you walk past.
that's
You
fine.
get whistles and jeers, and you get guys grabbing at you.
But I'm kind of sneaky, so I kind of try dodging them, but it's fine. I just
Yeah, I mean,
keep
you have
moving.
17 decks. You can, like, dodge out of the ways of grabbing
I
hands.
dodged the ass grabs
Yeah,
stealthily.
but I just want to let you know that
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is not a friendly place.
It's fine.
Okay.
Alright, so I go to the bartender and I say, do you think anyone here is looking for work? I say
think
work
everyone here is
like
looking for the
work.
sort of work you got to offer.
Like stealing work?
I wouldn't call you a maiden, but they could steal something from you.
Alright, do you have anyone you'd like to point me to?
Do you want to meet
Anyone?
for 5 minutes? I'll get someone to take my shift.
No, it's fine. I'll just grab someone random, I guess. So I just
You're
go.
hungry, aren't you?
So I just pick someone who has a cloak on, like a dark cloak on.
All right, so you basically try and find the sketchiest looking person.
Yeah.
All right. There's a super sketchy guy way over in the corner by himself. So sketchy he won't even associate with the other sketchy people here, or they won't associate with him.
All right. Hey
You
there.
All right. He, in a raspy voice, says, "Hey there, what's going on?
Are you looking for some work?
What do you have to offer?"
Gold, and I'm looking for you to kidnap someone.
You're a little blunt with these things, aren't you?
I have timely matters to attend to.
Who?
Well, I'd rather give you the gold first and then tell you who.
He kind of pauses for a moment and says, "Give me the name and the mark before I take the job.
The mark?
The target. The person you
Oh.
want to be kidnapped."
All right. Paladin guy. Sir Brightblade. Brightblade, I think. The guy who dueled earlier today. You probably saw it. With the mustache, you know?
Yeah.
He had a
No
mustache.
deal.
Sorry?
No deal.
Jeez, I thought you were seedy, man. I'm disappointed.
Not stupid though.
I see. Do you know if anyone would be interested in buying some very,
Oh.
very interesting rings and seals from a lord? It's very royal materials.
What do you mean? Show me what you got.
I show him just one of Lord Feng's rings. Can I appraise it?
Yeah, you have appraisal skills.
Okay, so how much is it? How much is it worth? Like all the items.
So his rings are worth like 60 to 150 gold each.
How many do I have?
6.
All right. So I show him that and I tell him I know it's worth about that.
Says, okay,
Are you interested?
no.
All right. Well, have a good night, sir.
Okay. So
Do you know if
want-
anyone would be interested?
he just shakes his head at you.
All right. I go back to the bartender and I ask him if there's people who would be interested in buying expensive jewelry, black market style.
I'm sure there would be.
You don't know anyone?
I'm sure there would be. I just don't know you. I can't trust you.
Well, I'm in this city bar. There must be a reason, huh? I give him 1 gold.
He takes the gold.
And then I look at him waiting.
He says, is there anything you want?
Yeah, I want to know who would buy those.
I don't know. Don't trust you. Don't know you. Don't trust you.
I just
You're
gave
doing
you
so.
money.
Yeah, you did. Thanks.
You're a pretty useless fellow, aren't you?
I can think of a few uses for you.
I just sighed. And I say, well, fuck you, and I leave.
He
Enjoy the 1
accepts.
gold.
All right, you walk out. Again, amidst cat calls and slobbering men.
All right.
Now what?
Me and Jeff are still in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go back to them. I tell them the whole story, including the 1 gold I got screwed out of.
We share a good laugh together.
Yeah.
And I ask if anyone's seen Breger.
I am still at the CD bar. And I witnessed Abigail fail in getting any kind of information or anything. So I go to the bartender and I order a beer.
Okay. You get yourself a beer.
All right, and while I'm drinking it, I ask him if he knows where Brightblade lives in town.
He says doesn't live in town.
Where does he live?
Don't know.
You don't know, or you want to be bribed?
He chuckles. Bribing would help.
All right, so I give him 2 gold.
Dude,
Yeah.
this bartender's having a fucking awesome night.
Yeah, he is. Okay, he says, great, yeah, he doesn't live in the city.
Right. So, do you have any more information than that?
He's been hanging out here for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
But I
a
want to
couple
know where
weeks,
he
actually.
lives.
Well, I don't know. You should ask him. Been in town for a couple of weeks, hanging out here, there. Don't really know why he's around, but, you know.
All right.
Been here.
So I take my beer and I finish it, and I just kind of stare down the bartender and walk away.
Okay.
And I approach the man in the corner, the super sketchy guy.
Same one Abigail did?
Yes.
Okay. He looks at you and says, "Another visitor."
Yes. So I understand that you have no interest in doing a kidnapping job on Brightblade, but I was wondering if you had information on where he lived.
No.
No. Do you know somebody who would?
Maybe if you talk to one of them noble lords, they might know.
All right.
This guy shows up out of nowhere a couple weeks ago, hangs out around town, not really doing anything. Seems a little like he got his nose in the air a little too high, if you ask me. Something's not quite right about him.
So I realize that I'm not going to get anything out of anybody in this bar. I toss the seedy guy a gold coin, and I walk out of the bar, head back to meet up with the party.
Okay.
So we ask if...
Party
Well, go
all
on.
meets up at the Downed Goblin.
I asked Ryan what happened. Were you as unsuccessful as the other elf?
I think if we're going to
Sorry,
want to
Breaker.
find out where he lives, then we're going to have to start talking to nobles, but lowlifes around the town aren't going to know anything.
Okay. Vincent, you think this is something you should do?
Yeah, I can do it.
All right. If we catch this guy in open, I could definitely... We could definitely make sure that he's able to be captured, but it's just going to draw so many eyes on it. I don't know if that's the best plan. I think we should still go about this being sneaky, even though we failed pretty bad so far going that route.
Yeah.
Well, what time of day is it, Neil?
It's still like mid-afternoon. I'd say like 2 or 3-ish. Although it's getting towards winter, so days are kind of short now.
Okay. Stepping out of the game, we're coming up on 4 hours. Do you guys want to stop here and we'll figure out how we're going to capture this guy next week, or do you want to play like another hour and capture him and try to bring him back?
I think we have to stop here for me personally.
Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of late.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably good. Before we move on, do shout-outs. Are we all in for Sunday?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Sunday at 8 EST?
Sure.
Cool.
Back to a real schedule.
Fucking a real schedule. Holy shit. So everyone spread the word. Sunday, 8 Eastern is when we'll be playing again. That is April the 6th. No, the 7th. 8 p.m. EDT. So let's go around and do some shout-outs. Neil, why don't you start us off?
As always, SC2 Ratings, wonderful website. Take a look.
Short and sweet. Jen, some shout-outs?
Yeah, thanks for watching the show. It's always a pleasure to play. Make sure to follow me at LivinPink SC2 on Twitter and check out my stream. It's twitch.tv/LivinPink.
Ryan, some shout-outs.
All I have is a Twitter, which is at MLGRyan, so you guys can follow me there. And shout out to everybody who believes in me, even though I continue dropping my bow over and over.
2 consecutive ones in a row tonight.
Yeah.
That was
good.
pretty sick.
It was good.
And then a 1 on damage.
And then a 1 on damage right after that.
And then a 2, and then a 2.
Yep. Jeff, some shout-outs.
Just thank you all for tuning in. It's just a real fun pleasure, and I'm glad so many people get into it. The pictures, the gifts, all that stuff that you guys do really, really, really makes it so much fun. So thank you. And then if you haven't, just follow me on Twitter, iNcontroL, and we'll see you Sunday.
Yeah, so just real quick, everyone's Twitter is below their little webcam portion here on the stream. Make sure you follow all of us. You can go over. Neil, you're going to be doing a Q&A after this tomorrow, probably?
Yep, just about to post it.
Cool. So that is over on reddit.com/r/itmeJP. You can ask Neil, the DM, that is with an A, whatever you guys want, about tonight's.
Thank you, JP. You're the best.
That is about tonight's campaign. If you missed any part of the campaign, I put it up on YouTube over at youtube.com/itmeJP once a day, about 30 minutes. Or you can sub to the channel and the VOD will be available to you right away in full with no ads whatsoever. Huge shout out once again. We can't thank you guys enough for all the support and the pictures and the music that you guys are creating for us. It is all awesome stuff. The majority of that is over on my subreddit, so go check that out. If you guys liked what I did with the kind of battle music when Jeff was fighting there, I'll try to incorporate that more often. Other than that, I think we're finally going to start having a normal schedule here. So you can tell everyone Sunday, 8 EST is when we'll be playing. We are out. This has been Roleplay. We'll see you guys next week for week 9, where we hunt Sir Brightlight, or whatever his name is.
Brightlight.
I just did that to troll Neil. I knew it was Brightlight.
You bastard. You're so effective.